This video should prove to be very informative for many of you. Basically, the video is going to be a contrast between a two-dimensional approach versus a three-dimensional approach for playing the game on this 2x1 surface with spheres. I guess the history of the game would bear out that a lot of instruction that has occurred over the years, historically, has been from a 2D perspective. But we're into an understanding era now to where it is easily comprehended that pool is played at the table from a three-dimensional perspective. I have here a drawing that's obviously a two-dimensional drawing showing two lines of balls. They're set up in parallel fashion, same distance apart lengthwise and widthwise. They're set up as right cuts to that bottom corner. The red ball is more of a cut angle than the green ball. Well, in center to edge aiming, the same visuals and half tip outside pivot will make each of these shots. But now, two-dimensionally on a sheet of paper, if we were to apply a half tip pivot to these shots, your angle of or result of each shot would be the same. That's the nature of looking at spheres on a flat sheet of paper. You don't get the same results on paper that you would get on a pool table. Now, there are those out there that just simply despise center to edge aiming and what it stands for. So the only real ammunition they have, and it would be like fighting gorillas with a pellet gun. You're just not going to have much luck doing something like that. I mean, to think that this game is played two-dimensionally is about as ridiculous as a large game hunting with a pellet gun. But there are some that's all the ammunition they have. That's all they have. I mean, it's amusing to me. It really is. When I look at these balls right here, this is real 3D. In no way is this 2D. And anybody that wants to come and see this and experience this lesson firsthand, I'm going to welcome you during the year 2015. There'll be no charge. I just want you to come here and experience it, and then you can go out and tell the world what it's all about. That's fine with me. I'm welcome to share this with you. I'm passionate, enthusiastic about it, and I want you to see that centered edge aiming is the powerhouse that it really is. You know, if I were to try to look at both of these balls in a 2D fashion, I mean, both of these balls are right cuts to that corner. Right edge to C, center to edge, right edge to C, center to edge. Well, let's say that I stand back and I'm going to try to look at this in a 2D fashion. So I'm going to draw with my eyes a straight line from the right edge to C. Okay, I've got it as well as I can. Wait a minute, I have no centered edge. I can't get a centered edge, but on paper I can. On paper I can get centered edge, but I can't here. Oh, maybe if I start at the centered edge line, that'll help. So now I'm going to go straight from the center of the cue ball to the outside edge. Shoot, that won't work either, because now the right edge of the cue ball is between C and B. So I can't get my two-dimensional lines here. I bet maybe on this set I can. So if I go 100% laser line to the best of my ability, right edge to C, the center of the cue ball is inside of the outside edge of the ball. So it's not there. It's identical to what I saw in the first one. It's identical. Now, if I were to set up center to edge, 100%, there it is, right there. Now, the edge of the cue ball, the right edge of the cue ball, once again, identical to the red ball, it's in between A and C. So you see, if I were to try to set up with straight lines, laser type lines, I can't even get both lines in that manner. So that's the incorrect way of trying to do it. I've said it many times before. You can't be behind the centered edge line. You can't be behind the edge of the cue ball to the aim point on the object ball, because you can't get the other perception. That's the nature of spheres on this rectangular surface. It's because we have, you know, the distance and the depth and such that is involved with a three-dimensional presentation that we have here with these pool balls. So I'm going to, as prescribed in CTE Pro 1, stand in such a way that I can see both perceptions. Okay, right there it is. There's my 15-degree perception, right edge to C, centered edge. That gives me a fixed center on this ball. I'm going to go straight in, a half a tip on the inside, turn to center. And my tip on this particular setup right here, with these oversized balls, is pointing just about at the left quarter. So I'm just about at the left quarter with these oversized balls. Now, I'm going to move over to the green setup here. I'm going to set up 15-degree perception. There's only one place I can be. There's my C, there's my centered edge. That's it. I can't be anywhere else. That gives me a center right there. I'm going to go straight into that center, and I'm going to pivot to center cue ball. Now my tip goes straight through center, slightly to the outside of the core of the ball, which would be appropriate for pocketing this ball. Now, there's only one place I can get on this set and on this set. I'm using the same visuals. I'm using C and center to edge. I'm using C and center to edge. I'm using a half tip pivot. See, the system takes me to a unique positioning physically and visually for doing a slight rotation to center for connecting with the right angles on a regulation table. So, once again, there's my 15-degree perception. It's strong. I've been doing this for years. I'm going to move straight in 100% to the best of my ability. I'm going to pivot to dead center ball. And once again, I'm pointing out here almost to this quarter, which is appropriate for this cut angle. Now when I look at this one, it's not there, it's not there, it's not there, it's obvious. Anyone can see this. There it is. That's perfect right there. There's a centered edge perception. There's a right edge to C perception. There's the center. I go straight in, I half a tip, turn to center, and once again, my tip is through the center, slightly to the core of this ball. I think if I had 1,000 people here, I believe I could bat. I remember reading a book when I was a kid, baseball book, something about the kid that batted 1,000, something like that. I believe I could bat 1,000. I believe everybody that comes through this door can see this. The ones that turn a blind eye to it, oh, they could see it, but they don't want to see it. And I don't have to go into all the reasons here, but you know, that's okay. I knew years ago when I started down this journey of CTE that there would be some to come at me. But I've cleared all the hurdles year after year after year after year. Now CTE is spreading around the world. People are seeing that it does work as prescribed. But there's a few that still want to fight the fight that CTE is not what it is. Sorry, but it is. And all I have to do basically at this point for most people is just show them one example of where parallel lines with the same visuals and the same pivot result in different cut angles. And this is beyond refute right here. I'd be happy to walk anybody through this experience. Be my pleasure. Thank you very much.